there, welcome back. This is the final video of the week. This is Waterhill Streets of Fire. I thought with the heavyweight stuff early on in the week I should do something that's fun. It's a genre film, it's just enjoyable. So I did one of my favourite films of all time, Streets of Fire. I watched this in PSVR, which means you can watch it as if it's a cinema. So it's almost like it's projected in front of your eyes. And it's like a big screen seeing this great film. And this is a film I saw on TV in the early 1990s. It was shown in BBC Two and I saw it and it just blew me away completely. I mean, I'm not sure if I'd seen The Warriors then or hadn't. I feel I saw this one before The Warriors and I just was not prepared for it. It was just a stunning film. I mean, you could say it's style over substance, but the style is the substance because the story is a very simple story. It's a girl as pop singer is going back to her home district in this rundown city that's partly nostalgic to the 50s and partly kind of futuristic comic booky villains, and these bikers steal her during her show. Her ex-boyfriend, who's a soldier, comes back and agrees to go get her for money for the manager of her act, who's also in a relationship with her. So there's tension between these two, and he takes a guy with him as well. So there's a triangle going on, and then basically it's him getting her back and then getting back out of the area with her and the people they pick up along the way, and then finally confrontation between the hero and the villain, which is the guy who stole her and the guy who got her back. So that's it. That's the story. Guy comes back into town, saves his ex-girlfriend, gets her away from the villain, and also gets her away from the guy who she's now with, but she should never really be with. So it is it's a very romantic story. I mean, it's about the lead guy played by Michael Parry is a very terse character. He doesn't say much, but you can see he's feeling a lot. He's very emotional, he suffers, but he's not going to say much. And so it's because he's more of like a young Clint Eastwood kind of character. All the other characters are much broader around about him, and that allows for him to be like the stoic hero, but also allows for lots of character actors to come in and have some fun. So Rick Moranis plays the manager, and he winds the whole way through the film. Partly hated being in this film, and you can tell in the film, but still enjoyable to watch him because everyone's cruel to him. Amy Madigan is Parry's sidekick, and a part that was written as a man, but then it changed to a woman when she came in and convinced him that she would be better than any guy to play this part. And then they just changed the part because they thought she was right. Diane Lane plays the singer who gets kidnapped. Willem Dafoe is a creep who kidnaps her, and you know, there's all these other characters. There's this black band who are coming back, or who are going to a show, and their bus gets kidnapped. Gets taken over by Michael Parry, and people try to escape. They appear. This hanger-on, who's a fan of the singer, appears as well. It's just a lot of weird characters who have to interact and argue with each other, but in a fun way though. It's only 90 minutes long, so there's no scene goes on for too long. So if a character annoys you, you're not going to see it for that long anyway, so it doesn't matter. But what's important in this film is the style of it. The style is really the thing, because it's almost like it perfected the MTV style, but not been all MTV. But it's a lot of fast cutting. But the cutting's done deliberately, like it's shot, but it's done almost like a musical. So the shots are there to go along to the beat of the music, and there to establish a style of this is a youthful. This is an area full of a lot of young people who have a lot of energy, but the story itself is very classical. A guy trying to get his girl back, and it's very romantic because it's a guy who's still in love with his girl, but he can't admit it. And the music's almost like the expression of those romantic feelings. So the music doesn't have to be too sappy, and the music's much rawer and it's a working class. The whole era is working class. So this music's not sappy romantic music, it's much more rock and roll. So it allows for unsentimentality. There's just no sappiness involved, but allows the emotions to come through and you still feel it's a romantic film without it. And the music helps that a lot. In a way I don't think it would have come across as much if there was no music. I think it would have just been a bit dull. But the style kind of progresses that. And the style's tied to the music. The music's almost like going to the beat of the music almost tells you when they have to cut next and cut next. And because Walter Hill's directing it, it's a Walter Hill film, you always know where you are with the camera cuts. It's not the cut, where the hell am I? I can't figure out where the hell I am. It's not, you know exactly where you are in the frame at all times, because he's planned it out. And it also means that when the camera stops moving, there's a point to it, and you know there's a point and you can sit still and watch the dialogue scene go on when it stops. So it's really well paced because it delivers, like, this is important to have the style here, to get your momentum, to get the plot moving, to get your energy going, but you still know where you're going all the time, and it's still so well paced and so well choreographed in every way that you still feel it's a natural part of the storytelling progression. And when people do stuff and it cuts quick, it's almost like you're going with them, the emotion they're feeling. Because they're not going to show you it, but the cuts show you the emotion. And it gives the momentum to the film. So it's an expressionistic film using edits and using lots of like red imagery, and like everyone's dressed up well to look, you know, they're wearing blacks, reds, you know, or suits. Everyone's designed very carefully. The sets are very designed to feel working class but stylised, and it all just is of a piece, is of a world, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful film. It's one of those films that I can watch anytime. I've seen it God knows many times. I've bought it so many times, like in video, and I first taped off the TV to see it. Then I've had it in video, buy in video, then buy it in DVD, now buy it in Blu-ray. I've bought it a lot and I've watched it a lot. It's also a film you can watch just scenes from. You don't watch the whole film, just watch some scenes from some of the musical sequences and just enjoy the musical sequences for what they are. So you don't even have to watch the whole film. It's just there's some great moments in film in this. And when the fights happen, they're very quick. It's like, even though it's an action movie, Walter Hill knows it's not the point of the film, so he doesn't stop the film too long for them. He has a build up to them, he has the action happening, but it's a very quick pace, so you're getting momentum of the story, but you're not getting stuck down on the violence. Because it's not a violent film, it's a film about the romance. It's not about the people getting their legs shot off or anything. It's just the stylisation and the flames in the background and everything else. It's a comic book movie. It's just wonderful. I really highly recommend it. It's not a film you can really analyse so much. You just got to try and almost make a review or kind of advertisement of the film. Just go see this film. It was a massive bomb when it was released. That's why it's in my Beautiful Disaster series, and it's been a cult film ever since, and it's just wonderful. I mean, the Warriors, what was the Warriors, is a bigger cult film because it was a hit as well, and it's got a afterlife that this film doesn't have as much. But this film now has its own little cult following. It's just not as big as the Warriors, which is a shame because I think it's better than the Warriors, even though the Warriors is awesome as well. I love both of them. I wish there had been more of them, but I think this one bombed so badly. They never went back to this again. It just tanked completely, and Walter Hill became a much more conventional director after this. And it's almost like you saw some of his passion go when this was probably struck out. You can't do this stuff anymore because this one bombed. And it became more, it wasn't more realistic, he was still doing these fantasy stories, but a more realistic stylisation to them, which was interesting. And you could see his filmmaking get a little flatter as they went along, so it wasn't much fun to watch. So that's where we lost this film Bond. We lost that kind of bit creative Walter Hill. Because if you look at his films with The Driver, till this, they were much more stylised, they were a bit more operatic in their emotion, using the camera work to tell you the emotion rather than using dialogue. After that, it became a bit more explanation based and, you know, pulpy and rougher, I think. I don't think his films were as good after that. But this is a great film to go out on if you're, this was the end of his peak, but it's a great peak. It's a really good period of filmmaking for Walter Hill, but this is kind of the end of it. So I hope you enjoyed this. We're back next week with some more videos. I'll see you then.